and welcome. This is Brandy Furiani from the Eagle Chamber of Commerce coming at you guys. We have Jennifer behind the camera.
Hello!
Yay, giving all of her support and coordination. And most importantly, we are here today with Kimba from Whole Body Vibe and Wellness Center. She is a hidden gem in our community, and I can't wait for you guys to get to know her a little better. I'm going to ask her some fun questions. If you guys ever have any questions that you're curious about and you want to get to know her a little better outside of this video, feel free to email her. We'll put all of her information in our About section, our bio, and let's kick this off. All right, Kimba, I have to know, how did you get started with your business?
Thank you so much, Randy, for having me. Thank you.
Yeah.
What a treat this is. I'm really excited. My family, when my kids were little, they weren't well. We transitioned from another country, and when we got here, they just had a lot of allergies. It was like instantly off the plane. What happened? And now they're having breathing problems. My oldest son had asthma. And so we just needed to fix some things. Mm-hmm. And so Western medicine wasn't necessarily the solution for us, and we had done some vaccination that didn't go so well, and so we knew that there were other solutions, so we just sought out to find them.
Very nice. So you had mentioned when I first came in about these 4 pillars of health, and how does that apply to what you do, and what are they?
So the 4 pillars of health for me is emotional, physical, spiritual, and mental balance. And a lot of people come in and they think that they're so broken. I'm so broken, I need all this help. No, we might just need a few tweaks. But being committed to a lifestyle of balance is really, you can't balance 3 legs on a chair. And so when you put all 4 legs down and there's a solid foundation, you can start establishing a better character. You can start establishing a better health environment in all aspects of your life. And so you become this better person, but it isn't something that it's 0 to hero. It's something that you just kind of creep into, and whatever you're feeling when someone comes in there, I'm not really sure why I'm here. I think I need to lose about 5 pounds, or I think I need to lose 110 pounds, and it always is about the weight. And it really isn't. If you back that out, it's not about the weight. It's where in their life are they out of balance, that one of those legs on the chair isn't touching solid ground. And so if we can just get that managed, then everything else starts to work itself out.
Everything kind of falls into place.
Everything. And it's just a matter of give yourself a little bit of time and a little bit of attention. Self-care is not a negative thing. It doesn't mean we're selfish. It means we love ourselves as much as we love the other people that are in our lives. Mm-hmm. And so loving ourselves sometimes can feel selfish. If we look at it from maybe a frosted glass or something, but really loving ourselves is the first step to being able to love everybody else.
Okay, so you mentioned this self-care and people coming in here and wanting to lose weight, but trying to fix those pillars first. What are some ways that you help them fix those pillars?
Oh,
I know that's kind of a loaded question.
Yeah, we have a lot of different services. It's all geared toward, they come in, they do colon hydrotherapy and coffee enemas. We do all different types of cleanses, nutritional counseling, and just really giving a lot of homework. It's not like we're helping them to earn their PhD in nutrition, but it is important for us to be able to have healthy conversations that we understand the same things.
Well, and you're teaching them along the way of how to take care of themselves. And so when you're teaching them, obviously it's not just like I'm going to go on a juice cleanse and we quit and they don't see you ever again.
That's right.
What does that look like to keep that going?
Well, first there's a recovery phase, right? So as they're going through, let's just use a cleanse for example. If they're doing some type of cleanse, and it's not only juice cleanses, it's different types of cleanses. So as they're going through that, it's instead of focusing on all the things that they don't want in their lives, what is it that they really do want? And so let's work toward that, and we give homework. It's let me educate you about the value of water and the value of sleep and the value of less stress, and what does minimizing really look like? And how does taking some time to just do an inventory of our lives. We have a project, it's called, one of our first homework assignments, it's called Project 168. And it's involving butcher paper and lots of writing on the wall. We just force some butcher paper on the wall and we go, how do you spend the 168 hours in the week that you have? Looking at a whole year sometimes can feel daunting for people. But when they look at just a week, let me just break down a week. How did I spend that week? And did I honor the things that I really wanted to? And did I avoid? I don't know how much value there is in 15 hours of binge watching Netflix, right? And so did I take
a lot of bonbons? That's what your investment is in.
and I don't know what the value is of bonbons, right? So if you really look at being an intentional person, which is where people want to go, they just don't realize that that's the intentionality. That's really what I want. So how do I become more intentional with my health? And what does that actually look like? And so sometimes we need to put our big girl panties on, and we need to put our big boy chonies, and sometimes we need to sacrifice a few things to get those really beautiful things in our lives. But once we get our health taken care of, it's like, okay, well, as I was working through my health, now I realize that there's a spiritual component of my life that is lacking. Whatever their spirituality is, if you're not pressing into it, is it really what you believe in? So let's honor what we believe in, and let's stand up for what we believe in. And if we don't believe in it, then shut up and stop talking about those things.
Well, and what's a priority truly to your life?
Right.
And things that you're helping them work through all this kind of fuzz and get down to what the nitty-gritty really is.
Exactly. It's like being a business owner. Do I have to have an 8 to 5 business Monday through Friday, and then I have to work from 10 to 4 on Saturdays, and then the office is closed on? Of course not. We get to create our best life ever. And so if we take the steps, if we're willing to be just a little bit adventurous, just a little bit courageous, we can have truly that wonderful life that we always look for. But the expectation without the action really is just going to get us in the same place that we're in right now.
And I love that you mentioned courageous, because sometimes for people to take that step back and say, you know what, I do need help, that takes a lot of courage. So for them coming to you and being able to say, I want to change what my life looks like, I want to get healthy, that's huge. And for you to be able to say, I'm here to help, I'm going to make sure I'm here with you every step of the way, is I think something people are going to love, when they come in and they get to meet you and go through this process with you.
I think the quality of our lives is a direct correlation to how much we pour into it. If we want something wonderful, we don't get to have a beautiful marriage without doing the work, right? And then when we stop doing the work, somehow the grass looks greener somewhere else. No, the grass grows where you water it. And so if we want to have those quality aspects of our character in our lives, then we're required to water them. I want to be mentally healthy. I want to be mentally stable. What does that even look like? Someone can have a goal, but if they don't know how to break it down and put practical, applicable steps to achieve that, they'll never get there. They'll just keep saying, I want to have the mental health. I want to be mentally healthy. Or I want to be emotionally healthy. How come I keep holding on to this guy? Or how come I keep attracting this
or even
type
holding
of
on
woman?
To trauma you've gone through.
Right. Or when I was a child, my situation was this. Well, now you're 40, you're not a child. Why are we still living there? Right? It's how do we pick up the anchor so that our ship can go forward?
Oh, I love that analogy.
And so it's just really allowing ourselves to identify that. And it's not a bunch of, I don't know, we're not going to sit around and sing Kumbaya. There's a lot of real work involved to have a great life. But it's possible for all of us to be able to not just move forward, but to move forward intentionally, to feel the joy that comes from having a life that adds value. Because at the end of the day, people are so involved in social media. But social media tends to be all about self. Look at me, look at me. How about when we're done looking at me and I start looking at you? And I start looking at all the people around me that I can pour myself into because I'm healthy.
And you need to be healthy before you can pour into others in that extent.
Otherwise we're giving from an empty bucket and now we're resentful and we're bitter and we're tired. And yeah.
Oh, I love that.
And Kimba, how long have you been doing this? 14 years?
It'll be 13 in April.
13. Wow.
Okay.
That's a long time.
Exactly. It is a really long time. Well, and clearly you're good at what you do because you have a passion for it and you can hear it in the way you speak. And this, I know, is a new building for you.
Yes.
And you've come from out of state, so you're establishing yourself in our community and just loving on everything Idaho has to offer. I have to ask, what's your favorite thing about Idaho now? Now that you've been here.
Initially I thought it was the weather, because to get to experience the 4 seasons.
Yes.
But And I giggle every morning. Oh my gosh, I'm still here. This is amazing. But the truth is, it's the people. The people are so beautiful. It's just the authenticity, the sincerity. My neighbors just loving me to just come and check on me. Like, hey, how are you doing? And the exchange, that people aren't busy running into their garage and closing the door. Let's really just get to know each other. So it's the people. By like 1,000%, it's the people.
The friendliness here. Everybody is warm. Well, not everybody, but most people here are warm and welcoming, and they embrace you with open arms.
Yeah.
So I feel you on that account.
Yes.
Okay, so if you could pick your favorite thing about what you do, one thing that trumps everything, what is that one thing that you love about what you do? I know I'm putting you on the spot here.
You know,
it's kind of a tough question.
We do so many fun things here, but I think the thing that we do the best is that we just love people. Like, it doesn't matter, there's no judgment when you walk in the door. It doesn't matter where you've been, it doesn't matter how many drugs you've taken, which may not be politically correct to say. It doesn't matter how many situations that you've been in that are just less than favorable. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you're here right now, and we get to do, it's a privilege, we get to spend time, a little window of time along their journey. We get to spend with them, just to get to know them and love them and help them to remember how beautiful they really are. It's like the world's helped us to forget all of that. There's the harshness of it and the bitter truth of the community, of the economy and politics and health situations that are going on with COVID and all of those things. It's like we've forgotten how beautiful we really are and how much value we can add to people. And so when people come in here, it's like, oh my gosh, expect that I'm going to hug you and expect that I'm going to just love on you and want to know about your family, and I want to know you because that's how I can help you better.
Exactly. I love that answer.
That's my favorite thing.
Thank you for sharing that. Well, and you mentioned family. So I know you have a family. Do you want to share what your family looks like? How many kids you have? And
I have
your doggies.
Yes, I have 3 kids, and they are, you know, next to my kids. This is the biggest blessing I've ever had, getting to participate in what we do here. But my kids are beautiful, and they're growing. You know, they're 21 and 19 and 15, and lots of dynamic things happening in our house. But and we have 2 dogs, a lab and a husky, and they are really loving Idaho. I mean, just the freedom that they have is so fun. And
with Eagle, we have, you know, hiking trails and bike trails and the green belt. There's so many fun things to get out and go do that I'm sure your dogs are just going nuts getting to get out so often in this beautiful area.
Pretty soon they'll have the dog park to go into. I think it's opening April.
There's going to be a dog park opening in April in our wonderful city, so we're so excited, and I hope you get a chance to take advantage of that. I know there's tons and tons of people who have asked for that for many months.
Okay, let's get back on track, ladies.
Sorry. All right, so I know I've grilled you on who you are kind of personally, how you got started, the 4 pillars of health, what maintenance kind of looks like. Is there anything else that you can think of that you want to share with our community?
I think the biggest thing is that this is a little unorthodox. Our approach is a little bit, you know, a lot of people are used to coming in to a health facility with white coats and pharmaceuticals and prescriptions and things like that. And our approach is all holistic. I believe that God put all of our medicine in our food, and so we use it. And we teach people how to eat it, and we transition slow enough to where they're not feeling the deprivation of the old life. And again, it's a little bit of maturity on their part and a little bit of a stretch and a lot of patience on our part so that we can get there as a team.
Awesome.
So I think that's
great.
Well, thank you so much for sharing all this. Thank you for letting us come in your beautiful building and just get to explore. We are going to be doing a video about a little tour about the building. That way you guys have a chance to check it out. Tune into that video for more information, and thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.